Hello, everyone, and welcome to the finale episode of Act 1. It's everything that has been building up over the last 10 sessions have come to this, and I'm really excited to see what happens next. And
Tears.
our four heroes are ready to go, and we will see how things play out at the end of this. But before we do that, we do have warm-up questions, and I say two warm-up questions. The second question I will ask is, think back on this entire campaign as a whole and share with us what you would probably say would be your top two or three. Briefly tell us what your top two or three favorite moments of this campaign has been thus far. And the moments can be in character or out of character. And the first question is, I want you all to think long and hard about your character back in session 1. And when I say session 1, I mean specifically when the Zodiac games began. Not all the way back when you were really, 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 really little. But when the Zodiac games began, think about how your character was then and think about where your character is now. And tell us how you believe your character has evolved or changed since the Zodiac games began.
At the start of the campaign, I had in mind a Juan that was pretty cocky, and he cared about his friends, but the number of people he cared about was very little. He didn't have much worries really, and he really think that he was supposed to carry with all the burdens that could hurt his family. You know, the whole Ivan thing. But after meeting his friends, learning their stories, how they cope with like their feelings and the bad things that have happened to them, and everything like that, I think that he's actually starting to see that yes, he wants to protect his close friends and family, but he can't do it while suffering all by himself. They are his close family and friends because they care about him, and I he doesn't think now that they want him to suffer for them. He's really starting to change his view about what does really mean to defend someone or to protect someone, and about all the cocky thing he was. He is still a little bit cocky, but he sees that magical abilities are not everything, that he sucks at so much stuff outside of magic, and there are a lot of other people that are good at with animals, are good with astronomy. They know a little bit about everything and can destroy him in quizzes, that are geniuses in strategy. And he's starting to see that he may be not so big as he thinks he is. and he should calm down and really appreciate everyone around him.
So I think Roxana's change is pretty obvious in the sense that like how she views the world and how she views the things that are important to her has changed. Like before, it was actually very much about the high she got on being popular, and the less shallow part of her was her caring about Toby. And throughout the course of this campaign, I think she's made some friends, people she would quite literally die for. But her realizing that has kind of clicked something in her brain where it's like, after everything we've been through and the stakes we've had to, the stakes like getting raised up, the ends are beginning to justify the means, and it's getting to the point where to protect the people she loves, she might be willing to go to means that beforehand she would sweep to the side and completely not condone whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the biggest change for
Mm-hmm.
her. And she's more emotional now. She cries so much more.
Mm-hmm.
She's more of an open book.
For Levi, I think like it's just been like kind of slow build kind of to his evolvement to where he is now. Where, like he came in super like overconfident and maybe a little bit cocky, but it's to like hide all his insecurities is why he would do that. But now it's starting to be like honest feelings of him thinking like he can actually accomplish things, like he's actually good at things and he's getting better at certain things and people are starting to like him. And it's still kind of hard for him to even realize like, oh wait, people are actually wanting to be my friend. And the whole thing with like Rox and Juan, he couldn't even realize like they did care for him and they do like him, but like to him it was like, no, yeah, after this we're not even gonna see each other anymore. Like it's not a big deal.
Hmm.
And I think his growth has really happened pretty big the past 3 or 4 sessions, and it has a lot to do with him starting to believe in himself more than and actually believe that he's good.
I mean, I think definitely Al has come out of his shell a bit more. But with literally coming out to some people, that definitely opened him up as a person. And I think he's gotten a bigger worldview out of all this in like literal ways and some figurative ways. Because before, like he just, he had his 2 friends. He had, I think, a very small group of people that he would have said he trusted, and just seeing how that's grown, like, and changed. I mean, with Asa now being someone that like he's really unsure what that looks like, even though he cares for her, and having created just such strong bonds with people. Because I think throughout this session, he's really like with the hoops thing, he's really thought like, okay, so who can I really trust? And he's had to really think about that. And so for last session, for him to go to Finn, like I think he realized even in a short time, like you can create something strong with people, friendship wise and everything. So I think the other thing is just his relationship with his dad has really changed, and that is not something I anticipated as a player. Because when this all started, like he was angry. He did not want to be in the games. He was just like, oh, just another thing. Like, and he's realized that that was important for him, and that sometimes, while ignorance can be bliss, and he would have rather just stayed out of all this, he realized that he has an important role to play, and so I think he's still trying to figure out what that role is.
So now, if everyone would like to share their top 2 or 3 moments in the campaign.
Right now, I have 2 in my mind that are just, I love them. They're in no particular order. The conversation Levi had with Toby, the one that started the whole train of Toby believing in himself and everything like that. It was a really touching moment, and it really was the start for the Toby we have now. Like you see Toby before and you see Toby now. Like Toby confronting Roxana. Like, no, I'm going to do what's right, and you can't stop me. Versus the Toby that was, yes, Roxana, let's go, Roxana.
Mm.
And that scene was just, and Albert's character, the one that cracked me up, made me laugh like nothing. The fifth PC,
Oh my god, the clock.
the clock. We've escaped the clock for now, but when that happened in the middle of a touching conversation with Freudtessa, I couldn't stop laughing. Oh god, I love that clock.
Final boss confirmed. It's a one big giant animated clock. And Juan is like, no.
All hail King Greg.
That's right, Greg. Yes,
Greg the clock.
Greg
I
the
love
clock.
him.
Well, the scene of Juan and Roxana opening up to each other, that was real sweet, and that
Biffle.
really what?
The Biffles. Best friends for life.
Yeah, that started their friendship, and I think that yeah, I just love that scene.
My favorite scene in the campaign is like easy, hands down. It was when Hark was RPing with Hark and
Oh, with
the Natasha and Alec thing. I honestly, that was like great for me. And like I don't like, I think people saw it. Like I actually did a silent clap for him because of how great I think that performance was, and like it really sucked me in. Like I was like sitting next to him, and it sucked me into the world where I felt like I was actually watching these two characters have a back and forth, and I was like, wow, that was really great.
Mm.
Another one that I really like is like, this is kind of I guess a little selfish on my part, is like some of the like improv things I was able to come up with throughout, just like the silly things I've been able to say like off the top of my head. I've really liked Horse Lady being one of them.
Oh my god.
I like, and you know, the red ghost from Pac-Man is another thing where it was like, how did I even think of that? And then my last two moments I really like is, I think I really liked how Al and Levi became friends. Like, because that seemed kind of slow at first, where because like they're almost polar opposites, where Levi will talk, and Al's kind of, you know, quiet and like silent, but then when they got together, it was easier for them to talk, and you know that you could just see this friendship build. And then I liked the first interaction with Juan and Rox at the Quidditch match. I thought that was really unique because like it like was like innocent and playful, but then gets like super serious, like out like literally out of nowhere. So I really like that a lot.
It's kind of hard for me to pick like a favorite moment. Like I have some written down because you know, there's like the small things in this campaign is really what like stood out to me because you're all like really great guys, and it's so much fun like meeting up with you guys every second weekend or every weekend. Like little things like Brandon trying to make me laugh in the chat, like AJ, you're so nice, and I wish I had your organizational skills. Clef, you're a ray of sunshine, you make me laugh so much. And Hark, you're like you're like the dad of the group trying to keep us all together, and you're just such beautiful people. So I think like making friends is probably the best part of this. But aside from that, if we're talking about specific moments, I think oh my god, I'm gonna get emotional here, but like all the Alec moments really like hit home for me. Because a lot, I don't really tell a lot of people this, but Alec is very much based on my own brother. Because he was a person who made a few mistakes in his life, and I'd kind of give him a bit of a finger wagging. And so all the moments with Alec and Alec slowly growing as a person and how he deals with his mistakes, like they were all really highly emotional moments for me because they rang really close to home, and I love them so much. And I think Hawk handled it in a way that is definitely realistic, a situation like that. And as for number two, I think Toby's conversation where he turned around and Roxy's like, you got to tell him I have all the hoops. You got to put all the blame on me. And he's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No. Like just the moment when it just turns around and snaps. It's like, no, I am I'm doing what is right. And I love that. And I love that his character came full circle and that now he's this super confident guy with the hot babe girlfriend. And like, just, I'm so happy for him. And I think like, thirdly, like the chess game, that was my favorite. That was my favorite competition task. It was just so much fun. And I'm just happy that we won. And it was really, really great and fun. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, so for mine, I think for the humor route, I think the body switching was a brilliant idea for Aika to get to us.
How'd I forget? It's so good.
So,
So many
I
good
don't- I just-
things happened.
I know so many good things.
I felt like that really, not only was it fun and like funny to watch, but it kind of pushed us as players to be creative and to think outside the box and rely on one another. So I feel like that was just, it was a good scene for many reasons and a good session in general. I thought the sleepover event was really good too. I feel like, again, we got a nice mix of humor. We got to like explore some of the hoops more, and like I feel like that's kind of where Al started to come out of his shell a little more and like trust the group of friends. And then I think my ultimate favorite scene was when Finn gave the bracelet, because that really changed my mind as a player, because I was still unsure like if I wanted Al to pursue the Finn route as a possible ship, and I think that just kind of sealed it for me because it kind of caught me off guard, and it meant a lot to me and to Al. So I think that was my favorite scene.
And you haven't kissed.
Oh my god, it's gonna
Man,
happen there.
It's New Year's.
Oh.
It's gonna be New Year's Eve, so
Gotta kiss him before he dies.
That reminds me. So you know how Albion and Finn are plants need water? Aika and Roxy are toil and trouble.
Oh, I like that.
That's the ship name I came up with yesterday.
Toil and trouble. I like that.
Everyone spam the chat. Hashtag toil and trouble. Thank you.
Hashtag, I love that. So I will also share my favorites. So I have two for each one. So going, I guess, backwards with Albion, I think it's kind of obvious that this is a scene that really stood out to people, was just Albion's coming out. Just because it was something that I related to from a very personal level. It was one of the most challenging things for me to role play on my end, because playing both sides, both as like people who were very supportive of it and people who were a little like anxious about it, like Asa was, that was a huge challenge for me. And I just thought that playing off AJ with that was just really, really incredible experience in me playing in just tabletop in general. And then the other Albion moment that I also enjoyed was just that simple scene with him practicing Quidditch with Nico. Because I know we all love Plant Seed Water, but I think that AJ's done a very good job of not neglecting Nico, like Levi's neglected Chance. Even though I know that there's a lot of things going on between Albion and Finn, AJ's done a great job of saying, Albion went to Nico just to make sure he was okay, and you could see that the bromance between those two has been really, really cool, and I love their friendship a lot. For Roxana, the dance between them, not the dance where they're outside. I'm talking about the verbal dance when Aika was trying to ask her out, to the dance, and Roxana was like, "Well, I don't know, I don't trust you."
Yeah, it's like an episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that whole exchange was super, super entertaining, because I honestly didn't know how that was gonna go. Like, I was completely prepared for her to just reject him and then he would have gone for somebody else. But the way it played out, I don't think was exactly how Jordan and I planned, and I think that was what made it super fun. And then the other part that I enjoyed with Roxana is just all of the amazing outfits for the ball itself that Jordan did such an amazing job on. So thank you for going through all that trouble.
Oh my god, I'm a bit of a fashionista. I love like picking outfits. That you guys were like my Barbie dolls for for an entire afternoon. I was having so much fun doing it.
For Levi, I think another obvious scene, as gripping as it was the scene on the bridge.
Yeah.
Where Fenrir Greyback was going after him, and that strategically placed cliffhanger at the end of that episode when I posted it, where the Avada Kedavra spell was sent to him. And not only that, but also everything going on between him and the AMRS guy was just really, really cool role playing on Brandon's part, and just watching his reactions to that was very entertaining.
Oh, like watching everyone in the premiere chat when it cuts off was so funny because we all knew it
Yeah.
was okay, but everyone in the chat's going like, no.
Then my second favorite Levi moment, because again, this was totally unplanned and did not see this coming until it was right in that moment, was Chessa and Levi connecting for the first time and geeking out over Star Wars. That just went out of nowhere, but it made perfect sense in the moment. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, totally she would know what Star Wars was. And then just watching things go from there was super, super fun and super cool until eventually Levi and Chessa ended up on their first date, and Chessa was like, so this is a date, and Levi was like, oh, what? No, this wasn't a date.
Yeah.
Which I thought was adorable. Absolutely adorable. And then last but not least with Juan, I think that this is probably a simple... It's not like significant in the grand scheme of things story-wise, but I just love every single Tritessa Juan scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tritessa is one of those characters that I think people I don't think people necessarily like her the least. It's just it's been challenging to put her in situations where she's interacting with the other characters, because she's just not the kind of person that's outgoing and seeks out and starts talking to people. But when she does start talking to you, like, those moments are typically very gold. And Juan definitely is probably my favorite character to throw Tritessa at, because for whatever reason they just have this really interesting chemistry between the two of them.
It was funny because she's so blunt, and Juan just goes.
Yeah. And I guess my second favorite moment with Juan was Headless Levi. Was watching Clef is just so great at role playing, and that I think he had a great time not only role playing verbally but physically showing us like how he was holding Levi's head, and when he couldn't speak, like just watching him navigate through that is interesting. And Jordan hasn't even seen it yet, so
I haven't. I'm like,
I think it'll be really fun for Jordan to see how that whole scene played out. But those were my favorites. So
yeah, Jordan, you just have to know that when I got into Levi's body and when I got Levi's head cut off, something switched in my head, and I was like, "This is it. This is the peak of my life. Let's go!
This is my Oscar-winning part."
yes.
Here I go with Levi's head, and Levi freaking out and like, just relax, everything's going to be fine. And like throwing his head up, I'm like, oh, so good.
You guys are all just so great. Love you all.
It's like you're saying goodbye or something, Jordan.
I know. I'm going to the moon. Goodbye.
So, before we get back to continuing what happened from the last session, I want to give us... I know that things near the end of last session was a little rushed, so I don't want to penalize you for that. I am going to allow us to rewind a little bit before we get to that part and ask, was there anything specifically that you thought would have happened logically during the Christmas party?
I actually was thinking that maybe whenever I take Clef outside for his gift, that would have been a good opportunity for him to start with Juan, since it's his brother.
Fair enough. Go ahead.
I like that.
All right, so we have just exchanged. Yeah. Before I go
Oh.
inside,
Yeah?
I did a little reconnaissance work. I went to Professor Silva at Kessel Brucho to ask her about the pen that we found.
Whoa. I hadn't thought of that. That was real smart. What happened? What did she say?
Well, she did some of her magical work on it, and essentially she turned it into kind of a compass that I could follow. She told me that would lead me to, maybe who had the pen last or who put it in our room. And so I followed it to Ilvermorny because I just thought maybe that's where I should start since that's where we found it. And it took me to Wampus's common room.
So it's
And-
someone in Wampus?
Well, Carlos is the only person I knew from Wampus, so I asked one of the students to get him, and the pen pointed right at him. And he tried to lie at first, but he
Wait.
eventually
What?
Yeah, apparently he found the pen and didn't want to get in trouble with it, and then he lost it, and he claimed that then when he found it again, it was in our room. But
Oh, okay. So he didn't put it to spy on us. That's what you're saying.
well, I mean, if he's telling the truth, then no, and I don't see why he would
Of
do that.
course
But
he's
you know
telling
him,
the truth. I mean,
you know him better than I do.
Carlos wouldn't do such a thing. He's a little clumsy. I believe that he would lose the pen, but okay. Bad thoughts outside. Bad thoughts outside. Wait. Where did you say he found the pen?
According to him, it was in a book in the library, just a normal spell book.
So, and he will lean closer to Al. They weren't trying to spy on us and the hoop. It was just a coincidence, or something a seer would do.
What do you mean a seer would do?
I mean, do you remember that Phillips Underwood thing? The rock that I stumbled upon and that gave us the letter and the map and everything?
Right?
What if a seer knew that if they put the pen there, it would eventually reach us?
I mean, maybe, but if that's the case, it gets us back to square one. I mean, it was kind of comforting knowing that if Carlos just lost it there, then it hopefully wasn't there to listen to us. But
Yeah, but
whoever was
why?
using it for the library was now hearing what we had to say either way, and we don't know who that is.
Yeah, but even then, why would they have like a recorder pen? Now we need to go to Ilvermorny Library and try to see if we can find anything there. I don't know how are we supposed to do this.
I don't know, but I mean, I wanted to tell you first just because it was your brother, and
Yeah. Thank you. I'll ask him about it. See if there's anything he couldn't tell you that he can tell me. You know?
yeah. And if you find anything else out, I guess we'll tell the others after the party. I think not that we have to keep it from them, but I don't think we have any good information right now, so I don't want to ruin
Yeah.
the party for anyone else.
Yeah, that's a smart move. Come on, let's go with Roxana. Let's go have something to eat or something like that.
Sounds good.
Juan always has food in his mind.
Oh, and what a
Let's go eat
coincidence.
Levi did have plans on whenever he could sneak away for a second to attempt to call his dad.
Oh, go ahead.
Sure. You can do that.
I know the time difference is a little bit. I just looked it up. It's about 6-hour time difference, so it might be pretty late for them.
Yeah. So, who are you calling, Hunter or Joe first?
He's trying to get a hold of Hunter.
Levi.
Hey, Dad, how's it going? Like, how's like the holidays?
Things are fine, son. How was your trip to Mexico?
It's it's nice. Mexico's nice. All my friends are here, so it's been pretty good.
Glad to hear. It's still awkward between you two, obviously.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He's just waiting to he's more waiting to hear what you have to say versus him
Hey,
continuing the
so
conversation.
so like, funny thing, the last time we talked, it was kind of like a, kind of a weird situation, and I was just calling to, like the last things I said to you was like, I don't know if I'd ever be able to forgive you, and I just, I love you, Dad, and I just want to let you know that I do forgive you, and I'm sorry.
No, son, you don't have anything to apologize for. I'm the one who wronged you, and I wish I could turn back time and change everything, but I can't. So I appreciate you saying that, but again, you have every right to be angry.
But see, that's the thing is like I was like thinking and like all my like teachers and like friends and stuff, they like keep bringing up this like the same word. It's like the same thing that like keeps correlating with like my whole past year, and it's this word fate. Know what I'm saying? Like this thing about fate is like I'm grateful that I didn't go to Hogwarts like I originally wanted to, but because like I was just like so concerned with like trying to be like you, Dad, that I didn't step back and like I'm just thankful that you let me be Levi. I didn't have to be Hunter. You let me be me. And that's what I'm thankful for. And that's why I apologize, because you gave me like one of the best gifts of them all, you know what I'm saying? Because I like who I am.
I'm so happy to hear you say that, son. I have to admit that with everything that was happening at Hogwarts throughout the last several years, especially when who ended up taking over the school and all of those student deaths, for me it validated my decision not to send you there. But that's not an excuse for lying to you this entire time. I told myself that I would much rather you were angry at me for the rest of my life than to find you at the school dead under the hands of the Death Eaters.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and like, the way I am, for sure, I would have been toast. So, you might have actually saved my life, and I really do appreciate everything you've done. You and Joe have done for me. I've been hanging out with some people with some crazy fathers, and like, let me tell you, you two are like the best.
Thanks, son. You are the best. You are the best son that any father could ever have as well.
That means a lot. That really does. Thank you.
Oh, Joe wanted to talk to you as well.
Oh, I didn't know you'd be up too. Yeah, let me talk to Joe.
Joe like picks up the phone and he says, Hey, Levi.
Hey, Pops.
I got some great news. So I heard that you guys are going to some hobnobby little New Year's Eve party over at the Ministry of Magic.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what everybody's been talking about.
So Hunter was able to pull some strings on my behalf, and I thought that it would be an amazing opportunity to take all of the kids from our school of witches and wizardry over at the ministry as well, so they could be exposed to that world too. And I thought I would be able to speak directly to possibly the Minister of Magic, Mr. Shacklebot himself, I think is his name, to try to see if we can open more schools around the world.
Hey, that seems like a great idea. Nothing could go wrong there. So, yeah, bring them all.
I'm so excited. We're all gonna be there, like one big happy family.
Yeah,
all
it's gonna
in one place. All in one place.
I'm honestly shocked. I can't believe it. It's gonna be great.
Well, I couldn't contain the secret any longer, so will you enjoy yourself over in Mexico and say hi to everybody for me?
I definitely will. I'll make sure they all know that you say hi and that you're gonna be at this like summit thing. And it's gonna be like the best thing ever because I get to see like my pops, right? Right before like who knows what happens after school. Like I might be moving or whatever. Who knows? So we might not ever see each other again. So this could be great.
Where this is coming from? We're still in the middle of the holidays, Levi.
Nah, just thinking about future stuff.
You go enjoy. Aren't you in a Christmas party right now? Go enjoy yourself at the Christmas party.
Oh, I will. Yeah, having a great time. I'll make sure to talk to you guys later.
All right, Levi. Love you, son.
I love you, pops.
He hangs up. Anything else you want to do to completely destroy what's happening in the next several hours? Anyone else?
Out of character. I'm sorry. I was talking to my mom. Why are you crying, Brandon?
Because my dads are gonna die.
No, they're not. Don't worry. What
Why? I was so
happy.
happy because they're so far from everything. I'm like, oh yeah, they're always never around. Nothing could happen.
What did they said?
Thaddeus is doomed.
Why?
All right, so
Nothing bad's gonna happen, guys. Look, everything's gonna be okay.
So,
boy.
fast forward to present time. I believe that Roxana is engaging Yvonne, and the last thing that we did was I ended it just before I asked everybody to roll initiative. So,
Everybody?
everyone, roll initiative. All of you.
I don't like that.
I'm so nervous.
I am too. We'll see what happens.
Oh, my heart
7.
is just out of my chest. I'm like, this is the most nervous I've felt.
Albion, Juan, and Levi are not aware that this is happening right now, I believe, because I don't think any of them have told me that they went to the window and were watching this. So,
Can I say that? Okay, go ahead.
I mean, lots going happening. So, Roxana, you actually get to go first.
Do I notice he's trying to cast a spell?
Well, if I remember correctly, I think you pulled your wand out first.
Yeah, I already have my wand out.
You already have your wand out, so he pulls out his wand in response to you pulling out your wand. So he does have his wand out right now, but he hasn't cast anything.
Okay, so Roxana's just gonna go, I'd put that away if I were you, boyo.
Boy.
He sneers at you and says, "You dare threaten me at my house after I welcomed you here as a guest?"
Look, Yvonne, I just want you to stop hurting my friend and his little brothers. That's all I want after this. If you'd like, I could go tell your wife what you do. I could do that instead.
He says, "My affairs are none of your business."
They were made my business when I saw all your cigarette burns. Do you like using his arm as an ashtray? You asshole.
His face is starting to grow really, really red. I would like for you to roll an intimidate, please.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Roxana.
Hey guys, have you tried the tacos? They're like really good.
Yeah, they're really good. God, we have tamales too. Woo!
Okay. Oh, my heart.
15. All right. He looks like you are definitely pushing some buttons right now. Listen, you Russian scumbag. I will only ask this once. Leave my property now before I contact the authorities.
Will you now? Will you contact the authorities? Maybe I'll tell the authorities about how you beat up your children. Maybe I'll do that. The proof's on his arms, you idiot. They just have to roll up his sleeves, and your whole world comes crashing down. Your wife leaves you. You got no children anymore. What will you do then, Yvonne? I think I win then. I think I win.
I have done nothing but protect this family, and raise them to be strong,
You've got the
strong young
ocean
men.
of protection, pal. Juan is scarred. And you know what? He's a good kid, a kind kid. He doesn't need discipline like that. He saved my life. Did you know that? He saved my life. He's a good kid.
How many children do you have? What right do you have to tell me how I should or should not raise my children? You are 100% naive and ignorant. You don't even understand Mexican culture. I don't know how your children are raised in your country, honey, but this is how my family has raised me and their family from generations to generations, and we have been just fine.
Oh, I don't know about that, Ivan. I ain't looking at the man. I'm looking at the fucking monster.
I would like for everyone to roll and general observe. General observe. Everyone else who's not Roxana. Yeah, you can say one more thing. Yeah, yes, and observe. I mean, observe, spot, hear, whatever it is your highest. Observe. If you have some sort of secondary skill with observe, whatever the highest one is.
I got a 7.
Yes, 16.
Okay.
Fuck, did you really? You can't see like.
Levi, you're gonna notice that Roxana kind of disappeared a little while ago, and so has Yvonne. So I don't know if you're gonna do anything.
Yeah, I'll definitely go to my 2 boys and be like, "Hey, have you guys like noticed like Rox has been gone like a really long time?"
Really?
Yeah,
In
and
the
like
bathroom?
Check the punch bowl. Maybe she's tampering with the punch bowl.
Or in the bathroom?
in the bathroom, or, but like then the weird thing too is like your dad's been gone for a while. You think they're like getting it on in like the bedroom or something?
I'll just look
Okay.
at Levi.
Okay. When he says that, he would just stare at you like. That's
It was. Hey, I'm sorry. It was a joke. You know, it's like a little.
It was
I'm just playing around. But I did notice that they've been gone at the same time together for quite some time. Like I don't think they're doing anything like crazy. Like take with that what you will, man.
I'll check the kitchen, and
I'll
I'll
go
head off to the
outside.
kitchen.
maybe they're getting something. Levi, man, I really liked you, but sometimes you have to tone up the jokes, you know?
I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, like sometimes I just talk. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Now come on, come with me. Let's go check outside.
will do.
This is what your card was talking about. Okay.
Juan,
Who?
that's what your card was talking about, remember?
Yeah. The rating, he said, like, to think about what do I know and
Know what you know about the situation.
Who's going where? What's happening? Who's going where?
Al said he was checking the kitchen. Oops, sorry.
Okay.
And Levi and Juan are going outside to see if there's anyone out there or anything like that.
All right. I'm going to say that you guys, Albion will go to the kitchen, and Esmeralda is preparing dessert of some sort. And if Levi and Juan will go outside, and I'm going to say that when they go outside, they're going to hear this exchange going back and forth. And I will say that you will be able to insert yourself right here at the moment that where we last left off Yvonne and Roxana.
Juan is going to take a look at Levi, take his wand out and say, "Okay, you guys, stop right now!"
Juan, Juan, hello. Sorry, I'm just sorting out, taking out the trash right now.
Juan, how dare you invite this filth who's done nothing but disrespect the very people who have been feeding them and welcomed them in open arms into this house.
You hearing
No.
this right now?
Hey, Juan, that actually does kind of sound like rock. So I don't know whose side I'm on right now.
Okay. You two are putting your wands down right now.
You first.
Yeah.
Roll and intimidate, Juan.
Roxanne will turn to Yvonne and say, "You first, Mia."
14. All right. Okay, so that's actually really high. And so Roxana says you put yours down first.
Yeah.
And he spits back. You pulled yours out first.
Yeah, because you're an asshole.
She pulled her wand out on me first and threatened me.
I right now, I don't fucking care. You are going to put your wands down. Nothing's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say at this point that both Esmeralda and
No!
Esmeralda
No!
and Albion
You're
can
yelling a
hear
little
this
bit loud.
ruckus.
Yeah.
You're yelling really loud, and with that high of an intimidate, I'm going to say that your volume was very high in order for that intimidate to be high. So I'm going to say Esmeralda and Albion both heard that from the kitchen.
I would just look at her. Is that Juan's voice?
What's going on out there? And Esmeralda will take a washcloth and like wipe her hands dry as she goes out the door, because there's a door in the kitchen that leads outside. And I don't know if Albion's gonna follow.
Yeah, he would follow.
You'll start to follow, and as you're following her, you start to see that the curtains of the windows starts to open, and Tritessa has now opened the window just to see what's going on outside, in addition to Naila. And then Anna Maria also pokes her head in, and she looks like terrified right now.
My party is ruined. No. Okay.
I did not foresee this.
Merry Christmas!
And you, once down.
All right.
Esmeralda, it looks like Yvonne is like about to do something, but then Esmeralda comes out and she says, "What? Yvonne, what is going on out here? What is this madness?"
Yeah, Ivan. What's going on?
Rox, you're not helping.
Sorry.
Yvonne like looks at Esmeralda, and he doesn't put his wand away, but he will hesitantly put his wand down at his side. He said, "Esmeralda, this one here, she threatened me, and all we did was welcome her and feed her on this holiday, and she disrespected myself." And Esmeralda looks at her and says, Is that true?
That's not the whole truth. I did threaten the bastard. You care to tell her why?
Yvonne says, "Because she's crazy. She's absolutely crazy."
Okay, now you. One has to put his wands down. Stop
She
talking
admitted
shit.
to me, Esmeralda, that her family is a family of Death Eaters.
I just-
Now, you shut up. You stop talking shit about my friends. You hear me?
That's what she said. That is what she
Are you
said to
not
me.
fair? Shut up.
Yvonne doesn't say anything else. He's just looking. There's this like standoff like between him and Yvonne, him and Juan right now. By this point, I'm gonna say that both Skylar and
No.
Carlos have like opened the windows as well.
And I don't know.
Al heads back inside. I think he would say, "Hey everyone, let's I'm not sure what's going on out there, but I think we should just stay focused on in here." And he would kind of go over and take the curtain from Skylar and Carlos and try to cover up the window.
As you're doing that, you see Finn moving towards the front door, and he looks like he's on a mission right now. Like he's on, I don't know. There's a look on his face, and he does not look very happy, but he looks very focused, like laser focused right now as he's heading towards the door. Do you say or do anything as he's going to the front door?
Is he looking at me at all? Like, did I catch his eye at all?
Yes, he'll glance towards you as he's making his way to the door.
I would kind of raise his eyebrows and just kind of cock his head and see if he stops at all. Does he stop or does he keep going?
Does it look like you're about to say something to him?
Al's trying to not say anything with his mouth and just kind of give him a look like, just a look like, kind of
All right.
inquisitive, like "What are you doing?" type.
Finn is about to reach for the doorknob, but then your look stops him, and he just stands there and says, "I'm going outside. Is that okay?"
I think there's enough people outside right now. I think maybe it's best we stay in here.
I'm not gonna sit here and watch Roxanne or Juan get hurt by that a-hole.
He kind of looks at the two boys, Carlos and Skylar, whenever Finn calls him an a-hole. And he's like, I don't think anybody's getting hurt. I think Esmeralda went out there. I think it's going to be okay. I think the more people out there, the more potential for it to turn into something bigger than what it already is.
You can see that Finn's very conflicted. He really wants to go out of that door right now and like start, taking names, opening the can and taking names, but you manage to stop him, and he walks away from the door. He doesn't look happy about it, but he walks away from the door.
What are Carlos and Skylar doing?
They look like they're in a dream. They're like, is this actually happening right now? Like, they look really terrified. Like, they were just enjoying an amazing Christmas party, and all of a sudden it just turned completely upside down. So they're really disoriented, like, emotionally at this moment.
I think Al would look mostly at Skylar, the younger one, and just kind of be like, it's going to be okay. I'm not sure why they're arguing, but I think it's going to be okay.
Tritessa comes into the room with the other girls, and she's like, Roxana better not do anything stupid out there. We're not allowed to cast spells outside of school.
I think she knows that, and I think Esmeralda's gonna take care of this.
Oh, I know she knows that. I just don't know if she cares, Tritessa says.
That's a good
Look,
point.
I know Roxy can be a little bit reckless sometimes, but you clearly heard Juan. I think he's gonna make sure no one does anything stupid.
Naila looks very worried. Like, she hasn't said a word this whole time, but like she looks a lot like Carlos and Skylar in that she's very disoriented right now. Like, so many things are happening all at once, and she seems very like upset about this whole situation. But when Tritessa notices that, she'll like, put her hands on her shoulder and try to calm her down a little bit.
Where's Anna Maria? Is she inside too?
I'm gonna say that she went to the window herself and is pulling it over just to watch what's happening. But she also has her wand out as well. Anna Maria also has her wand out.
Everyone has their wand out. You have your wand out, and you'll have your wand out.
So we're gonna take this back outside again. So if Juan just yelled at Ivan stopped whatever it is he's doing begrudgingly, and I think Roxana put her wand away or down.
I put my wand away, but as I was doing that, because I still got my dad's on me, I very lightly take it out, but I have it in my hand.
Okay.
So, everyone here is going to chill the fuck out. We're all putting our wands away, and we're talking this like rational human beings. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Levi.
Got you, pal.
I'll start. And he's going to go down and put his wand on the floor and raise his hands like, okay? Come on, everyone, wands away. You're not doing this. Not on a Christmas party.
Ivan is looking at everyone around him, and then while watching everyone, he will slowly put his wand back away in his pocket.
On the floor.
He's going to put his wand in his pocket, and then he's going to turn around and he's leaving. Ivan is turning around and he's leaving. Like he's leaving the backyard. He's going, if nobody stops him, he's walking down the street and leaving.
That's correct.
And Esmeralda looks like she's about to say something to him, but she says, Ivan, where are you going? And Ivan doesn't respond. He's just peace out. He's just leaving. Esmeralda says, will somebody please explain to me what's happening? Did you threaten my husband? She says, turning to Roxana with a very this is probably the angriest you've ever seen your mom in a while. Because, I mean, she doesn't really know what everything is going on, and technically Roxana had a hand in completely destroying this beautiful family moment. So she's angrily asking, did you threaten my husband?
Okay, listen. I apologize. You've been a very beautiful host. I had a few choice words with your husband because of some disagreements we have in his parenting style. That's all I'll say on the matter, okay? I may have gone overboard with the threats. I made him angry, so.
What did you say to him? Esmeralda asks.
I just said I'd cast a spell on him. That's a lie, though. Should I roll deception?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
Okay. And I think Esmeralda, she doesn't say anything, but her face looks like she doesn't 100% trust what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
And then she yells out, is it true that you pulled your wand on him first?
Yes, but the thing about that is there was a little bit of an exchange beforehand that caused the wand getting pulled out. And she keeps looking nervously at Juan, like she's trying not to outright spill all the beans. She kind of is just looking nervously and trying to tell him with her eyes, like, it was about you, the conversation we had.
Yeah, Juan totally gets it.
She angrily says, you never, ever pull out a wand against an adult, especially not ones who have invited you to their house. No matter, I don't care what sort of argument you had. Ivan may have quite a temper, but he is not the kind of person who would resort to magic unless it was escalated to that point. I'm disappointed in you, she says.
Oh, Miss De La Rivera, I understand you're upset, but if you were here, you probably would be on my side. Just saying. And it's not my place to tell you. I'm sorry.
No, it's not your place, she says. I don't think everything you're saying is absolutely true. I think some of the things you've been saying has been half of a lie. I think it's time for you to leave.
She's gonna look at Juan and she's gonna I think it's time, don't you?
Juan is going to stop a minute and look at his hands. Mom, I've got something to tell you. Ivan is an asshole, and I fucking hate him. I'm sure you already knew that, but my friend Roxana is one of the greatest persons I know, and what she did for me. And she did it because of this, and he will pull his sleeve away and show his arm.
She kind of gasps a little bit when she sees that. Hijo. What? Who did this to you?
Ivan,
When?
throughout the years,
Why didn't you say anything?
I really don't know. I thought that everyone would be happier if no one knew, and I'm the only one punished, and he left my brothers alone, that everything would be fine and no one had to suffer. And I'm sorry. It's just I I can't take it anymore. It's I've been a stupid child thinking that I can get all of that into myself and that I didn't need any help, that I could do it all by myself. But it's time that I really face that asshole and that I get all of this outside my system, because it's been so bad. It's hurt so badly, and not only the physical pain, that's always going to hurt, and you eventually get used to it. What hurts is more of the feeling that he might hurt me because I'm the one that did something wrong. That feeling actually gets to get inside of your head, and I've been letting myself get too much into it, and I can't anymore. I can't. I'm sorry.
Roxana will approach Juan. Sorry. Roxana will approach Juan and grab a hold of his hand, and she'll look at Esmeralda and she'll say, and at this point she actually has tears streaming down her face, and she's like, I'm sorry I ruined your Christmas party. But I couldn't let this sit. I really couldn't.
Esmeralda, of course, looks absolutely stunned. And meanwhile, back inside the house, just to tell you what's been going on. So Skylar and Carlos are not at the windows, but Skylar is asking, "What's going on? What's going on out there?" to Ana Maria, who's at the window, and she's going shh, 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 like she's just trying to shh her brothers down. Finn is pacing back and forth, like he really, really, really wants to like be in control of the situation, and he just looks very, very like antsy right now, just pacing back and forth. And Tritessa is with Naila, and before Tritessa says anything, does Albion say anything while all of this is going on?
Can I approach him and, like, if I were to whisper, would everyone else hear, or could I kind of have a private conversation with him?
Yeah, you can have a private conversation.
So I would walk up to him and kind of put his hand like on his shoulders, like, hey. Try to stop him.
I feel I just can't sit here and watch things going down out there. I can't. It doesn't feel right. I feel so useless right now.
No, listen, I think I know what this might be about. I'm not sure, but I think it's best if this is handled with Juan and his family right now.
I just don't like not being in control, and I feel so helpless right now, and he just looks really upset.
Look, I know you want to help, and I'm not going to stop you if you want to go out there, but I truly think it's best if we just stay in here. I'm going to stay in here for the boys. I can't leave them alone, so I'm staying in here.
He looks at you in your eyes and he says, "If that's what you think is best," and he relaxes a little bit.
Al will nod over toward the window and say, "Look, Ana Maria's keeping an eye. If something's truly going wrong, she would head out there, and we can follow. But for now, I think we stay."
Okay. I'm gonna stay.
Just take a deep breath.
Okay, I'm fine. And back outside, so not Ana Maria. Esmeralda looks very stunned, and she's about to say something when these two wizards that you've never seen before in robes appear. And the first of the two says, Roxana Schvetz,
And she slowly looks.
we need you to come with us, please.
Look, whatever he's told you, I think you should get our side of the story first, okay?
We will be doing just that, but for now, we need you to leave this property, please. With us.
Am I able to slip something quickly into Juan's hand?
Mm-hmm.
Like without them noticing?
Mm-hmm.
I slip my dad's wand into his hand just real quickly. Otherwise, because I think they're going to confiscate that off me.
Okay.
And I'm going to say to him, hide this somewhere. I'll get it later.
I'm not going to let you go alone. I'm going
It's
to go
all
with
right,
you. You
Juan.
can't go alone.
What could possibly happen to it? What
Oh, a lot of
possibly
bad
happened to
shit.
me? And she's going to... Oh, I'm fine. And she's going to kind of try and move in front of everyone, and she's going to take off her one and also give that one to him and drop it in his hands. And she's going to say, I'll also get this one later.
Actually, we need your wand as well, please, Miss Schvetz. And the other Or holds out his hand.
Oh, hold on just a sec. She'll put the hoop and she'll hand them her wand. That's more than okay.
So you're giving... Okay, so you are going to give them your wand.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the hoop with your... What did you do with it?
I gave it to you. You have the
Oh,
hoop
okay.
and my dad's wand.
Okay.
The Oars will say, our apologies for interrupting this gathering, but we need to take Miss Schvetz off the premises, at least for the time being.
Where are you taking her?
We're taking her for questioning.
Hey,
Where?
Rox, you don't have to talk. Rox, you don't have to talk, all right? You got, you have the right to remain silent. You don't have to say nothing.
It's all right. I'll tell them the truth. And I think we'll get this cleared up.
Rox, don't say or do anything stupid. You hear me?
I never do anything stupid, Juan.
That's exactly why I was telling her to be quiet.
Okay, just take everyone inside. I'm sure it'll be fine. But if you would, maybe send Aika now for me, just in case I get held up.
So Yvonne doesn't show up for the rest of the party. He just doesn't, which is honestly the smartest thing for him to do, is to just not be there physically. The man's a total a-hole, but he's been playing this as intelligently as he could. And I'm going to say that Esmeralda is going to take a hold of Juan around the shoulder, and she's going to just walk Juan back into the house without saying a word. And so Roxana's left, and I think that when Esmeralda comes back into the house, she's not going to say anything. This is one of those things where she probably thinks she's just going to talk to Juan about this later. And she's going to just finish what she was doing in the kitchen to like get the desserts prepared. And I think that meanwhile, Anna Maria is going to say, they're coming back inside. Let's not ask too many questions, maybe. Anna Maria says to the rest of the group. But I want to know what happened, Skylar says. I think that Naila finally pipes up and says, look, guys, things kind of got really crazy and weird. Let's just try to get back to enjoying the party. And I know that things are kind of awkward right now, but I think that that's probably the best thing we should do for the Della de Riveras. She's probably right, Carlos says.
I just want to point out that when Juan comes into the house, he hasn't rolled down his sleeves. They are rolled up, so anyone that sees can see the scars and everything.
And Levi would pick up Juan's wand that he left on the ground.
Yeah, that's right. I left it on the ground.
When Juan walks in with his sleeves rolled up, Al like kind of gives this really wide-eyed look. He doesn't say anything, but he kind of just like looks at Juan to see if Juan's looking at him like maybe you forgot to put your sleeves down. He can't say anything, but he's just kind of giving you a look like maybe nodding toward your sleeves.
Juan will notice, and he will just look at you and be like it doesn't matter anymore. Fuck this. So when Juan comes in, he will say, "Well, that was something."
Is everyone okay?
Yes, 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 yes. Well, no, no, actually, that that some aurors came and took Roxy, some for questioning. That's bad. And
But
Ivan
she's
is not.
okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Roxy's okay.
yeah. She's okay. She's okay. Um, Ivan's for his own good. Ivan's not going back soon. And yep. So now that that shit show stopped, um, let's try and enjoy the party.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
all good too, Al.
I feel like he would have seen Levi out of character. That's why he didn't ask.
I don't know, just was a joke. Lighten up the
Okay.
mood a little bit. It's a little sad right now.
Juan, what's on your arm? Skylar asks because you didn't hide it.
Yep. Don't worry about it. Let's talk about that later. I'm going to the bathroom. And he will just
Yeah, you'll go to the bathroom, and Finn definitely saw what's on Juan's arm. And as soon as he see what's on Juan's arm, he looks at Albion. Did you see what I saw?
Said, yeah. I'll explain later.
He just sighs and shakes his head, not at you, but just at the situation. And you notice him clenching his fists like he really, really, really wants to hit someone right now. But he doesn't.
Good. Whenever Al said, "I'll tell you later," did Finn seem upset, or did he accept that?
He accepted it.
Okay.
Yeah. He's just upset at the situation. He's not upset at you. He's just upset at the situation. It looks like he really wants to hit possibly Yvonne in the face.
and Juan, for the remaining of the party, will act like nothing happened. And if someone asks about what happened or his cards, he'll just deflect.
Okay.
Okay.
So just in the interest of time, I'm just going to move along and assume that people awkwardly continues on with the party, and Esmeralda, he's going to talk to Juan about this, but I think she's still processing things, and Yvonne, for the next several days, Yvonne just doesn't come back. Yvonne will not come back. You will not see him from now until New Year's Eve. So
he's coming back.
this is just we'll deal with that situation with Yvonne later. However, meanwhile with Roxana, again, just to try to, in the interest of time, so the Aurors are just gonna question Roxana and just ask what happened. Like, they want to ask her side of the story. And what can you just paraphrase what exactly Roxana will tell them when they're asking her side of the story?
She would just let them know that Yvonne's been abusing Juan, and she had confronted him about it. She fesses up to threatening him, but tells them that she wasn't serious, even though she was. She tells them it wasn't serious. She was just trying to scare him so that he would stop hurting her friend.
Okay. The reason they took their wand is because the other Auror is going to cast Priori Incantatem, just so they can see what the last several spells you cast were.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the last several spells you cast were, just out of curiosity?
It would have been the curse of the
bunch of curses. Okay.
Okay.
Jesus.
They know. I'm assuming the Aurors know who you are, as in, like, you're from the Zodiac. You were one of the Zodiac champions, so that's actually not unusual. They really were just looking to see if, like, you cast anything that they believe would have been targeted to Yvonne that day. Because none of the trace alarms that would have been on you. You're 17. Are you 17 yet? Or are you not 17?
16,
She's still 16, so the trace definitely is still on you. So nothing was detected from the trace, thank goodness. But they wanted to make sure, double check. Well, once they're done with the Priori Incantatem, the wand will be returned back to you, and they will inform you that if what you're saying is true, they're going to do an investigation against Yvonne and Juan, but they will also give you a warning and tell you that, you know, things could have turned out a lot differently if you had acted on emotions versus logic. And they will just warn you that had you attacked Yvonne, especially since it seems like you were the one who shot first, to make another Star Wars reference, if you were the one who would have shot first, that would not have been good at all for you.
Yes.
So just letting you know that. They're going to tell you that they may call you in for questioning again during this investigation, but just to let you know that you're under the ministry's radar right now.
Yep.
So yeah. Okay.
So am I walking back now?
Yeah, you'll be able to return back before the party's over.
Okay. I'll just knock on the
and-
door real.
All right, so we're gonna say that people are like finishing up desserts, and I would say there's probably like a half an hour of the party left. So I'm gonna say that Anna Maria will open the door, and she'll see you, and she'll say, "Oh, hi, welcome back." And it's kind of awkward between you two right now. Come in. Everyone else is in the kitchen. I'll let Juan know that you're here at least.
Thank you.
And she'll let you into the living room, and then she'll walk into the kitchen, and